Welcome to another day in the Matrix. This is Waters Above. It's been a couple weeks since the Bitcoin ETFs were approved and launched, and as I warned in advance, that isolated event for the crypto market was in fact a bull trap. I was transparent about de-risking my Bitcoin position at 47,000, and since Bitcoin has dropped below 40K, with an over 20% correction since these ETFs launched, and I see even more downside incoming before the end of Q1. So in today's video, I'll be sharing my thoughts on what I'm expecting next for the crypto market, reviewing the charts for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and the setup to look out for. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, Numerology, and Astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out. And make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious beings to help grow our community. And with that being said, let's take the clear pill. So as I mentioned in my last video, I've de-risked my Bitcoin and Ethereum positions ahead of an anticipated correction that will continue even deeper into specifically late February. Now, if you're new here to this channel, for the past half a year, I've been expecting Bitcoin to move into this 47 to 49K area, followed by a rejection and no rotation into the altcoins, meaning that everything will essentially top out around the same time as Bitcoin, and the correction that will follow will in fact be a correction of a majority of the altcoin market as well, alongside Bitcoin, and to not anticipate anything like what is called an alt season until at least after Bitcoin breaks into new all-time highs. So regarding the time frame when I'm personally expecting Bitcoin to break its current all-time high of 69,000, that's likely to be near the end of this year. And for those who want specifics, I'd say October 2024 the earliest, with emphasis on the months of November 2024 through January 2025. So take note of that. But for now, I believe that we are in an accumulation phase still. But we are about to move into what I think will be the next deeper correction for this crypto market after a couple months of relief rally. And this market needs to stabilize at this time. For now, I'm looking for the next 4 to 5 months to be choppy, as expected in the crypto market, but no new highs for Bitcoin, Ethereum, or a majority of the altcoin market, with one major exception being XRP. And that's due to the grand trial between Ripple and the SEC set for the date of April 23rd, and I'll share my thoughts on that in a moment. But what I want to focus on is what I just said about the next 4 to 5 months. Again, we're of course going to have volatility. Of course, we can have some isolated projects break out for a short-term pump. But overall, I'm expecting the crypto market to be choppy and trending towards the downside over the next month specifically, so over the next 28 days or so. And the end of February is what I've decoded, and that will be my next accumulation phase. That's when I'll be utilizing the profits that I recently de-risked on Bitcoin and Ethereum to reinvest and continue developing my portfolio and refining my investment thesis. So until then, I'm patient and I'm allowing this market to come to me. These are all the skills and the exact strategies I teach in my crypto mastermind course available on my website, watersabove.com. And that course actually includes my entire exit strategy blueprint for free within that course, which exposes the methods I personally use to take profits. So that being included in that course provides even more value, covering the whole process of investing from start to finish. Now, another key note I want to mention about this current cycle is that I'm also considering that between March and April, we could have some lower high recoveries, but still a generally sideways market. And I'm leaning more downside than upside again, since Bitcoin was rejected right below this 50K area after these ETFs were approved. Now, on the exoteric side of things, we have a crucial FOMC meeting coming up at the end of this month, right on the last day of the month, the monthly close. And this is an important monthly close for Bitcoin since we're now coming back to the bottom of the macro golden pocket area around this 618 fib. We actually just today pierced below it, so that's important to take note of. So we'll have to see if Bitcoin can hold that level on the monthly close, essentially at 39K, which we're trading at right now. And I want to point out that there's an opportunity for another bull trap to play out on Bitcoin. So let me explain that really quickly for you all. And what I mean by another bull trap, I'm just talking about a micro bull trap, sort of a bull trap within a bull trap. So you see this golden line at the top and at the bottom, that's our macro golden pocket area when I'm pulling a fib from our current all-time high to our cycle low. Now, what you also see is another fib pulled from our yearly high thus far down to the swing low we just got in about an hour ago. And when we look at this, we're going to see this 0.5 fib and this whole golden pocket area, just a tighter range between 43,400 and slightly below 46K. Now, I have two examples to actually show you where we have recovered off of the initial correction and rejection at this phase in the cycle, and it could be helpful for you all to see this so that you have some scenarios to consider. So I'm going to be zooming out. We're going to be going all the way back to this cycle over here, which is June of 2016. And you can see I have the macro golden pocket, or the 786, 618 here. Bitcoin getting rejected right below the 786, which is just what happened to us on these ETF approvals. This led to a 30% sell-off right away, and then we got bought back into this golden pocket territory. You could see right in between this 618 and 786, and then this rejection led to an even deeper sell-off. Now we're going to go over here to the next example, which was in 2019. And if I pull a fib, you're going to see from this area where we got rejected in the top of the golden pocket to the initial sell-off, which by the way was 30%, just like the last example. You can see that Bitcoin got bought back, stayed within that micro golden pocket, got rejected, and it led to an even deeper sell-off. Now, this was very elusive actually, because if you look at what happened here, we actually went down again and had a double bull trap. This is very elusive, and this is kind of what the market maker likes to do, especially after you have a very bullish rally. So people got to remember that this move right here for Bitcoin was essentially a parabolic advance within the midst of a bear market. Again, very elusive. So we have two examples here, and this is at the same phase of the bull run that we're in now. What I mean by that is if you look at this area we're trading in, it's in between the golden pocket. If you look at this area over here that I first explained, it's in between the golden pocket. Rejection, correction. Golden pocket, rejection, correction. And this one was really arduous, really long term, and it had that black swan event in the middle. So note, one of the things that I want to mention is the time horizon. By the time we topped out and had the first initial correction was about 45 days. So if I was to take 45 days off of the current rejection top, we're going to see where that puts us is actually February 25th. And what's important about February 25th? Well, it's the day essentially of the full moon in February. So we have the February full moon time frame right here. So that's crucial to keep in mind. And as I teach, expect around full moons to be more bearish energy, just like we're 2 days out from this month's full moon, and that will be on January 25th in a couple days, and we're seeing a bearish energy across the board for this crypto market since we left the new moon time frame. So let me just pull up the moon phases really quickly. We're going to turn off all of the trend lines and everything else, and you're going to see what I mean. So we literally topped out at this blue dot, which is the new moon, and then after we left the new moon, we trended down. So we have seen this actually work incredible back in this past cycle, which every single new moon we were moving up into, and then as we left the new moon into the full moon, we trended down. So I'm going to quickly recap this for everyone. The way we're using the lunar cycles here is around a new moon is bullish and around a full moon is bearish. When we leave a new moon and move towards a full moon, the crypto market tends to move down or bearish. And as we leave a full moon and move towards a new moon, the crypto market tends to move up or in a bullish trajectory. These lunar phases last around 5 plus or minus 5 days. So in today's example, we can have the market continue generally down throughout the end of this month, right around into that next FOMC meeting, and then likely to pivot for a short-term bullish bounce around pretty much no later than February 2nd. So in that first week of February, and that would be around the third quarter moon right here. To simplify things, we can use the first and third quarter moons as pivot points, but of course, we always utilize this information and strategy alongside the technical analysis. So what we're doing here on this channel is not only exposing the esoteric aspects of this crypto market and how it operates, but we're combining it with the charts to have a holistic approach. So if this micro bull trap scenario was to play out that I was just sharing with you, let me pull that up really quickly. If this micro bull trap scenario was to play out, it would be likely to top out around this upcoming February new moon, which is February 9th, based on how we move bullish into new moons, with a Bitcoin move up to around maybe 43, 44K before an even deeper correction. Now, we can absolutely have wicks and even bigger moves to the upside, but I am not looking for a new daily closure high on the year just yet, and I am not looking for a break of our yearly high just yet. I think we have at least until the fall time, sometime around September. Maybe even we can get it in late July into August, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. In summary, I just do not see us breaking these highs during this quarter. Not before April. It would be very odd for it to do so. Now, could we have a bullish move up from here, a lower high, and then that is a rejection or a micro bull trap? Yes. We could even have what's considered a dead cat bounce, where we move up to the textbook 0.5 fib, get rejected there, and then roll over. Just a really lackluster buyback, essentially. Either or, I'm not really concerned how it plays out because for me, I'm again anticipating more downside than upside, and any small upside in the meantime doesn't concern me. I'm looking to reaccumulate. Now, I'm not telling everyone that you have to copy my investment thesis. I'm just being transparent with you. Not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. This isn't trading advice. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I know a lot of you appreciate that. So please understand, this whole play that I just shared with you is technical analysis. It's a technical play that could come to fruition based on the data in the charts, in the long-term chart of Bitcoin. It's not my opinion. So all in all, I'm looking for a Bitcoin move down to around the macro 0.5 fib minimum. That would be somewhere around 32,000. And I personally have my buy limit orders set around that level. And for those that want to follow along my trades and get live updates whenever I'm personally buying or selling, that's one of the perks that's included for our Mastermind community membership at patreon.com/watersabove. And that membership will actually give you access to my weekly Red Pill podcasts. It's a technical analysis podcast I do every week, and access to our community Discord server to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. It's really incredible what we're doing over there. Throughout all of this Bitcoin ETF distraction, we were staying calm and sticking to our plan. And with how dialed in we are at this stage of the cycle, imagine when the hype cycle really begins. We're not even close to that yet. So we're so early and we're more than prepared. And for those that are new to investing, this is definitely the time to focus and start developing your investment thesis, because we're stepping into a wealth transfer you won't want to ignore. And I don't say that to hype anyone up or to sensationalize. It's just the truth of what's coming for this overall economy. So we have the play-by-play on Bitcoin over the next 4 weeks. Now let's revisit what I brought up earlier about specifically XRP. and an isolated event that could trigger noticeable volatility in the XRP price, and that has to do with the SEC versus Ripple case and some key dates in March and April, right around the Bitcoin halving. So, as I said, the grand trial for this will be April 23rd, which is coincidentally pretty much right around the time of the grand trial. My intuition tells me that we can actually have a similar price surge and rejection like the one that just happened with Bitcoin for these ETF approvals, but with XRP instead. And traders speculating over the conclusion of this case based on whatever evidence or news in the cycle. Essentially, as we get closer to that grand trial, it will make XRP the talk of the town again. The news will focus on XRP and Ripple. Whales will do what they do best and drive up the price. Speculation will bring greed. And then after the trial, it's likely to have a short-term correction again. And I know this doesn't sound sexy. It's not what the XRP investors want to hear, but you need to remember, this is a game the market maker designed. They don't care about your opinion or cartoon bears or riddles. All they care about is keeping you emotional and sucked into an infinite conspiracy so they can take your money. Someone has to say it, and I've been saying it since the beginning of this channel 3 years ago. You got to learn what runs this market. When everyone is bullish about a popular event, you should probably become bearish. But of course, ride the wave up along the way, and that's what we do here. That's exactly what we did for this Bitcoin ETF distraction. I've just watched this happen too many times, so it's important that I warn you. So remember, I was publicly exposing my 80 to 90 cent de-risking target on XRP before the first big win for Ripple in this SEC case where XRP was no longer deemed a security. I had the 80 to 90 cent sell limit orders set months before that event, and most thought that I was out of my mind to think that such a big event in this case would lead to such lackluster price action. But again, I reminded everyone that it's not about the event. It's about the esoteric, not the exoteric. Gematria, numerology, and astrology runs this market. Once you become aware of that, it changes the whole game for you. But you have to be open-minded to how this system works, because for most it's too obscure to be accepted by the masses. So if you made it here to this channel, know that you're here for a reason. You did not find this channel by accident. So my thoughts on this next move for XRP are in the timeline of March to April of this year. I would actually expect a higher price breakout than the one that we got back in July over here. So keep this in mind. I'd be looking for a move above the $1 range up to the $1.20 area, which is the macro 702 fib. Okay, that's a technical level. That's typically what we tend to see when we're on a macro automatic rally, a macro AR. Again, if you're not sure of these terms and how I'm using them, that's all covered in my crypto mastermind course. But now, be aware that due to the move Bitcoin could be making during the month of February, it could bring XRP down with it. For instance, if Bitcoin drops to 32 to 33K by late February, we could see XRP trading in the mid 40 cent range, around 45 to 46 cents if Bitcoin dominance doesn't flow over, which, as I shared earlier, I'm feeling we're going more down than we are up, and not to expect any alt seasons. So anything under 60 cents XRP has been ideal for long-term accumulations, and there's no true warning signs for XRP as of yet, as long as it's holding macro candle closures above 41 cents. So take note of that. That's your 382 fib. So it's important to note, what's going on with XRP right now is not unusual. Although it's been lagging, and it's a lagging project for the majority of the last 6 years, when it moves, it moves. It can break out 100% in a single day, seemingly out of nowhere. Now, I have something powerful to share with you all specifically about the code of XRP. This is the first time I'm ever sharing this information, and it has to do with the date of April 8th, with this upcoming solar eclipse tying the date of XRP no longer being deemed a security, which was July 13th, 2023. This was the day that XRP broke out almost 100% in a single day. And when you connect those two dates of July 13th, 2023 to April 8th of 2024, you'll see it's 271 days. And what's so special about this number 271? Well, it's the 58th prime number. And where do we see this number 58 tied to XRP? Well, it's in the Gematria of XRP. XRP equals 58 in Gematria. And remember, this is already a powerful date because it's the solar eclipse during a solar cycle. And I want to point out that April 8th is the exact start date of the 15th week of the year. You could see that right here, 15th week, April 8th, on the solar eclipse. And that number 15 is also coded into XRP. You could see that right there. So another thing to bring up is April 8th is the 99th day of the year. You could see that right there. The number 99 shows up in the mythology of Jupiter. You could see that 99, and we've talked about this since the beginning on this channel, that Jupiter has this 27, and it also matches Ripple, 27. Remember who Jupiter is. It's the king of the gods in mythology. Now, if we were to remove this end date, you're going to see these two dates have a span of 270 days. You remove the 0 in the rules of numerology, and you're back with the number 27, connections across the board. And the last thing I'll bring up about XRP being noticeably bullish around this alt season of April of 2021. The top date for XRP was on April 14th, and I'm going to show you really quickly what I'm talking about. It was this surge up here almost to $2. So we had April 14th, 4/14 of 2021. And what's really fascinating about this particular date, it was April 15th, which is even more special. This gives us 1,089 days, okay? And remember before I was telling you about that number 15 tied to XRP, you have that 15 in the date numerology, and you also have this being the 105th day of the year. And when I connect this April 15th date, which was effectively the day that the entire altcoin market topped out for that alt season, well, you'll see that it's connected by 189 days, and 189 is your 33rd square. So 33 squared, or 33 times 33. So that's your esoteric 33 code. And remember, XRP is all-time high is $3.30. This upcoming solar eclipse date for April 8th, 2024 seems incredibly powerful for XRP, and I don't say this lightly. So there are some big connections that cannot be ignored. So as we get closer to this date, I'll continue to update you all on this decode, but for now, we have enough to work with, and I'll share this video with those who are interested in XRP. If you can share this with your people, you should. If they're interested or invested in XRP, they need to hear this. So if XRP gets dragged down over the next month with the overall crypto market, I'll continue to accumulate and build my position in XRP for my long-term portfolio. As I shared in my last YouTube video, I am not selling my XRP right now. I only sell when we're up, and I did that back in July. So I am just reaccumulating my XRP position right now, continuing to build, and I'm looking long-term. So we're going to finish off really quickly with this Ethereum TA. And you can see now that Ethereum is effectively catching up to Bitcoin. We've had a almost full 20% correction from the current top. And that's important because so many were not satisfied with me telling everyone in advance that I'm not anticipating an alt season or a rotation into the alts. I had a interview with the Bearable Bull. I exposed my feelings on that and my reasons why. So shout out to the Bearable Bull for allowing my truth on his channel. I know it's become this popular belief that there'd be some mini alt season within all of this, and that's just not how it went in those prior cycles. So in my last video, check that out because I share examples on Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, and even where Solana's at this current cycle, kind of just proving to you that this is not alt season time. So with this type of move that we're getting now, it's brought ETH back into this horizontal range, and I think that that's a solid correction we've had thus far. I would not be surprised if we move a little bit up into February new moon, as I shared with you earlier with the Bitcoin analysis. creating somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern that would have a breakdown below the macro 0.5 fib, and it would bring you into around this sub 2000 area. I do think there's a big opportunity for the 1800 to 1700 area for ETH, and I'd personally be building my position around there. I do not think we're going to go lower than the 236 at this time. It would just be sensible that we return back to the 382. And if Bitcoin's really going to correct and go all the way down to like 27, 28, 29K, then of course we could have a flash where everything gets swiped through. It's a liquidity grab, and then we get bought right back up in the same week. Very similar to what happened back here in March 10th with the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. So I'll leave it at that. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you're all having a beautiful week in the Matrix, and I'll be catching you all very soon in my next Red Pill podcast over on my mastermind community at patreon.com/watersabove. Appreciate you. Much love.